Sit back and throw one back with your pinkies in the air and a middle finger to the world. And join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in professional wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and give us a big old thumbs up. And now, without further ado, let's look back on this day in pro wrestling history. Wee doggy! It is January 13th. We're going to start off on a positive note, as we always do, and do those happy birthdays in professional wrestling history. 1932, a man with one of the best gimmick names, especially in the early days, Bearcat Wright. 1950, the man with the best mustache in the family, Bruce Hart. 1969, one half of the Eliminators, John Kronus. 1970, hide your babies, otherwise he'll punt 'em, it's Gene Snitsky. 1982, former wrestler and now Circus Olay member, Mason Ryan. Those were your happy birthdays for January 13th, and I'm also proud to say we have no deaths in professional wrestling history today. Let's get to the meat and potatoes and find out what our wrestling highlights are for January 13th. 1973, Chavo and Hector Guerrero defeat Black Gordman and Goliath to win the NWA America's Tag Team titles. 1979, the WWF run the Philadelphia Spectrum. In the main event, Ivan Koloff beats WWF champion Bob Backlund by countout. 1986, the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, defeat the Sheepherders, Jonathan Boyd and Bigfoot, not to be confused with Luke and Butch Williams, aka the Sheepherders, aka the Bushwhackers, for the AWA Southern Tag Team titles. 1989, in the third of 6 title changes between the two in 13 months, Chris Benoit beats Johnny Smith for the Stampede British Commonwealth Mid-Heavyweight title. 1990, Manny Fernandez defeats Invader One for the WWC Puerto Rico Heavyweight title. 1993, WCW holds its 22nd Clash of the Champions. The main event saw Cactus Jack, Dustin Rhodes, and Sting beat Paul Orndorff, Big Van Vader, and Barry Windham in a Thunder Cage match when Cactus Jack pins Paul Orndorff. 1996, Tommy Rich defeats Jerry Lawler for the USWA Heavyweight title. Also, on the same event, PG-13 win the USWA Tag Team titles, beating Doug Gilbert and Tommy Rich. And last but not least, in 2001, ECW hold their final show in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. After the show, the whole locker room comes down to the ring as Tommy Dreamer thanks the fans for all their support over the years. As Sandman adds, "This bud's for you," as all the wrestlers share a beer in the ring. Those were your pro wrestling history highlights for January 13th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and I'll see you tomorrow.